Welcome to all of you for this course on Universal Human Values, Lecture 1, Basic Human Aspiration, that is happiness. We are in part 3. In the last two parts of Lecture 1, we have seen that it is the value education that guides us the way to fulfill our basic aspiration, and the process of value education is through self-exploration. Self-exploration consists of verifying any proposal in terms of a value based on our natural acceptance without assuming it to be true or false, and also it is coupled with experiential validation. When we use this value in our behavior with others, it leads to mutual happiness, and when we work with the rest of nature with that value, it leads to mutual prosperity. So this is the process of value education named self-exploration. And for this self-exploration, the key is natural acceptance. We are going to accept anything as a value when it is naturally acceptable to us. So we have seen that values are inherent in every human being, and there is a natural acceptance for values by everyone. So there is a natural acceptance to be happy and to be prosperous and for their continuity in every human being. In reality, we find that human beings are not happy and prosperous on a continual basis. So value education shows us the way to fill this gap between what is naturally acceptable to you, our basic human aspiration, and the reality. So that is the significance of value education. So now, coming to part 3, we are going to define what is happiness and what is the key to happiness we are going to explore. So let's stop. So what is happiness? There are different notions of happiness. People do different things to derive happiness. Every human being aspires to be happy. So as we have already seen, everything we think, everything we plan, and everything we do is only with this basic aspiration that our thoughts, our plans, and our work shall make us happy. So all human efforts are directed with the objective and aspiration to make ourselves happy. So our efforts are sometimes successful, and we are happy at that time, but other times they are a failure. So we wish that our near and dear also to be happy. So in our wishes during occasions like New Year and birthdays, with great enthusiasm we extend our wishes: wish you a happy New Year, wish you a happy birthday. So although we plan and do every action to make us happy, we are happy sometimes and we are unhappy other times. Why? So what is the secret of happiness? Let's explore. What is the secret that unlocks happiness for us? Where is that key for happiness? So let's explore. So to explore the key for happiness, let's answer this question. Do you want to have good relationship with the members of your family? So what is naturally acceptable to you? To have good relationship or to have a feeling of opposition? What is acceptable to you naturally? Relationship or opposition? The answer to this question is clear. To have good relationship is naturally acceptable to us. Many times we are able to have good relationship with the members of our family, friends, near and dear. And we observe that at those times we are happy. But sometimes friction comes in for some reason, and we may have a feeling of opposition with others. When we observe closely, we find that whenever we have this feeling of opposition, we don't talk to that person, we turn our face away from that person. Why? We try to be away from that person. Why? Because we feel uncomfortable. To have a feeling of opposition is not naturally acceptable to us. To have a good relationship is naturally acceptable to us, but to have a feeling of opposition is not naturally acceptable to us. Whenever we have a feeling of opposition with others, we feel uncomfortable and unhappy within and also with others. We can find the feelings which are naturally acceptable to us. When we have these feelings, we are happy, and vice versa. So let's, for example, regarding relationship, we have already seen whenever there is good relationship with the members of our family, friends, near and dear, so to have this relationship, it is naturally acceptable to us. Yes. And are we happy at that time? Yes. When there is a feeling of opposition, we have already seen that this is not naturally acceptable to us, and we find that we are not happy at those times. Similarly, consider trust. Is trust naturally acceptable? Yes. Then when you trust others, do you feel happy? Yes or no? So if you observe within, you find that whenever you are able to trust others, there is a feeling of happiness within. Similarly, when there is mistrust or when we are doubting a person, this is not naturally acceptable to us, and we feel unhappy at that time. Similarly, respect. So, of course, it is an obvious experience that somebody respects us, we feel it is naturally acceptable and we feel happy at those times. But to respect others, okay, so that is a great value. It is naturally acceptable if you calmly observe within. Okay, you find that to respect others is naturally acceptable. And whenever we are able to respect others, we find that we are happy at that time. Similarly, disrespect, of course, it is a common experience that when somebody disrespects us, it is not acceptable to us naturally, and we feel unhappy. Okay, and the other way also you can see that when we show disrespect to others, if you differentiate between you and the other, if you observe within calmly, you will find that this is not naturally acceptable to us, and therefore at those times when you differentiate yourself from others or when you show disrespect to others, we feel unhappy. Similarly, affection, another name for relationship, the feeling of being related is called affection. And love. Okay, it's a common experience that when we love, love is naturally acceptable, and whenever we are able to love the other people, we have happiness. Similarly, when we hate others, this to hate is naturally not acceptable to us, and we feel unhappy. So sometimes we can't immediately perceive that having a feeling of opposition is naturally acceptable or unacceptable to us. Okay, we have logical justification to have the feeling of opposition. We find that the other has done lot of mistakes or the other has cheated us. So therefore, it is quite justified to have a feeling of opposition towards the other. But when we calm down and explore within, we can find that whenever we have feelings of opposition, mistrust, etc., we find that it is not naturally acceptable to us and we are uncomfortable and unhappy. So, the key to happiness is that whenever you think, speak, do what is naturally acceptable to you. For example, to have relationship, to trust others, to have feeling of affection, okay, there is harmony within, between what you really want to be, okay. So natural acceptance, what is natural acceptance? Natural acceptance is nothing but what you really want to be, what is acceptable to you naturally. So that is actually what you really want to be. So when you want good relationship, that is what you really want to be. And whenever you think, speak, do what is naturally acceptable to you, like relationship, trust and affection, so there is harmony within, between what you really want to be and what you are. And therefore, because of this harmony, you are what you really want to be. So there is harmony between what you are and what you really want to be, and that has resulted in happiness. And whenever you think, speak or do what is not naturally acceptable to you, like to have a feeling of opposition, to unable to trust others, or to have a feeling of jealousy towards others, so these feelings are not naturally acceptable to us. And there is when you exercise these feelings within, there is disharmony or contradiction within, between what you really want to be, your natural acceptance, which do not reflect these feelings, and what you are. So therefore, because of this disharmony or contradiction, you are unhappy. So this is the key to happiness. Harmony between what you really want to be and what you are. Okay. So that is what actually creates happiness. What you really want to be is nothing but what is naturally acceptable to you. Another name for natural acceptance is intention. Okay. What you intend to be. Okay. So whenever there is harmony between what you really want to be, that is what is naturally acceptable to you, that is natural acceptance or your intention, and what you are, that is your desire, thought and expectation. This is your present state, and this is your potential, or your what you desire to be, what you really want to be. Okay. So when there is harmony between what you really want to be and what you are, that is happiness. So where is the key for happiness? The key for happiness, what is the key for happiness? We have seen that whenever there is harmony between what you really want to be and what you are, there is this harmony is reflected as happiness. And where is this key for happiness? The key for happiness is within, in terms of our natural acceptance. Many times what is naturally acceptable to you, you are able to make out, but at other times you are not able to make out. You have to become conscious of what is naturally acceptable to you. Sometimes you are conscious of it, sometimes you are not conscious of it. So it's when you become conscious of what is naturally acceptable to you, and when you desire, think and expect in line with your natural acceptance, what you really want to be, that is what your intention is, that harmony is there, and this harmony is happiness. So the equation for happiness is harmony is equal to happiness. Whenever there is harmony between what you really want to be and what you are, there is harmony and there is happiness. So whenever there is contradiction or disharmony between what you really want to be and what you are, so this disharmony or contradiction is the feeling of discomfort within you that is expressed in the form of unhappiness. So, in the human self, you can see that there are two phases. On the one side, you have what is naturally acceptable to you, which is referred as natural acceptance. It is also referred as intention, and that is what you really want to be. Okay. On the other side, this is the actual present state, what I am, what is my desire, what is my thought, and what is my expectation. Every moment we have some expectation, and towards that expectation we have thoughts, and we have some desires. Based on our desires we have our expectation, and this is referred as our competence. So there are two sides of our human self. On the one side, you have natural acceptance, what is naturally acceptable to us, what is our intention, and what we really want to be. On the other side, we have what we are, the present state, what is our desire, thought, and expectation at the moment, and that reflects our competence. So we need to discover our natural acceptance. Many times we are conscious of what is naturally acceptable to us. Other times we may not be conscious. So we have to discover our natural acceptance moment to moment, and we have to only act according to what is naturally acceptable to us. So we have to find out what I am, my desire, my thought, and my expectation. That is my competence. So when there is a proper understanding between these two, and what I am is in harmony with what I really want to be. Okay. For example, what I really want to be, always a relationship. Okay. To have good relationship with the members of our family, near and dear, this is what I really want to be. Okay. On the other hand, present state, I may be able to maintain sometimes good relationship with the members of our family. Okay. So there is harmony between what is naturally acceptable and what I am presently. So this harmony, there is harmony between what you really want to be and what you are. Okay. In both of them there is good relationship, and this good relationship is naturally acceptable, and therefore there is harmony, and this harmony is expressed in the form of happiness. Sometimes we have a feeling of opposition with others. So this feeling of opposition is our present state. This is our competence at that moment. Okay. So we find that this feeling of opposition, to have a feeling of opposition, is not naturally acceptable, because what is naturally acceptable is to always have good relationship. You have a feeling of opposition. There is a disharmony. There is a contradiction between what you really want to be and what you are. This contradiction will generate a feeling of discomfort within, which is expressed in the form of unhappiness. So therefore, the equation of happiness is harmony is equal to happiness. This harmony needs to be first realized within. So harmony between what you really want to be and what you are. Okay, harmony between what is naturally acceptable to you and what is your intention, what is your desire, thought, and expectation, what your intention is, and what is your competence. So whenever there is harmony between these two, it leads to happiness. Okay, harmony is equal to happiness. So to extend this harmony, principle of harmony, okay, towards all levels of our being. Okay, harmony, when you are able to realize harmony at the individual level, there is harmony in the self, and therefore happiness at the level of the individual. When you are able to realize this harmony between what you really want to be and what you are. At the level of the family, whenever you are able to ensure harmony in the family, happiness is there at the level of the family. Similarly, at the society and at the level of the nature and existence. So these are the four levels of our life, our being. Okay. So at all these four levels, if you are able to realize harmony between what you really want to be and what you are, at the level of the individual, at the level of the family, society, nature and existence, then what you get is happiness at all levels of our life. So this is the key to happiness. So to sum up this lecture 1, we find that we have seen that basic human aspiration is to live a fulfilling life. Life will be fulfilled whenever there is happiness, prosperity and their continuity, and value education helps us what to do to be happy, prosperous and to ensure continuity of happiness and prosperity. So value education has to be universal in order to be acceptable to all. So value education also has to encompass all walks of our life, that is thought, understanding, behavior and work, and also all levels of our being, that is at the level of the individual, family, society and nature and existence. So there is a natural acceptance for values in every human being. So our natural acceptance is for relationship with everyone, respect, trust, etc. So it's not necessary to create the values, because values are inherent in every human being. So we have to discover them, which reflects our own natural acceptance and intention, and that is what we really want to be. Hence, when there is harmony between what you really want to be, that is your natural acceptance and your intention, and what you are presently, your desire, thought and expectation, that is your competence, there is happiness. So the equation for happiness is harmony is equal to happiness. When there is contradiction between what you really want to be, that is your natural acceptance or your intention, and what you are, that is your desire, thought, expectation or your competence, so there is unhappiness. Contradiction is equal to unhappiness. So life will become unfulfilled. Life will become fulfilled when you identify what is naturally acceptable to you, and when you align your desire, thought and expectation with what is naturally acceptable to you. Then there is harmony, then there is happiness. So this harmony is to be realized at all levels of our being, at the level of the individual, family, society, nature and existence. So this is the subject of universal human values, and we have completed lecture 1. Okay, the basic human aspiration, the key to happiness. Thank you all for viewing this 3 parts of lecture 1. If you like the lecture, click the like button in the YouTube video, and if you have any queries, please put them in the comment section so that we'll be able to interact in future, and we'll meet in lecture 2, harmony in the self. The subject of universal human values revolves around how to achieve, how to realize harmony at all the 4 levels of the being, at the level of the individual, family, society, nature and existence. And lecture 3 focuses on realizing harmony in the self at the level of the individual. Thank you all. Thank you.